old West Ham back? And the reason I ask that, when I say the old West Ham, I mean the West Ham, let's call it COVID West Ham. You know what I mean? Getting less possession than the opposition, hitting them on the counter-attack and scoring set-piece goals. And this seems to be what's happening. It was a big thing. Do you remember everyone used to make a play of it, didn't they, about the set-piece goals? West Ham are the best at set-pieces. And I think we were for about... Well, we definitely were for a whole season. And then I think Liverpool then got a little bit good at it, or somebody else, maybe it was Man City. Anyway, whatever. We were still there or thereabouts. We were still second or third. For 18 months, we were the kings of the set play. You know, you didn't want to concede a corner. Corner felt like a penalty, didn't it? There were a lot of contributing factors to that. I think Ogbonna was in absolutely fine form, and Dawson was a big part of it as well, and certainly Antonio as well. He was sort of standing on the keeper, and Souček, of course. We were quite dominant, weren't we? And then that sort of disappeared for a while. Well, it's sort of made a comeback, hasn't it? Really, we've seen it with Zouma, we've seen it with Antonio. We've seen 2 corners again that we just witnessed yesterday. Sorry, as I record, it's not yesterday as I record this, but against Bournemouth. And actually, when I started to think about it, well, actually, it's not just been that. Our throw-ins have become a little bit better. We've started scoring from those as well. Now, there was a rumour. I'll tell you the rumour. I don't know, because I don't think there's anything particularly saucy about it. The rumour was... And this might not be true at all. I'm not passing this off as true information, by the way. And to be fair, I can't even remember where I heard it. That's how that's how untrustworthy this information might be. But I'll share with you the rumour, just so as you know it anyway. And that is that Paul Nevin and Nolan had been taken off set-piece duties. And now Moyes had taken control of them. Now, if you remember, Paul Nevin, we brought him in as a set-piece specialist. So, because he was Gareth Southgate's. Remember when we played in Russia, England played in Russia, and his set-piece was really, really good, and it was quite innovative. We nicked him. We nicked him for West Ham. David Moyes nicked him. And then it was him and Kevin Nolan who would concoct all the different set-pieces. Now, I'm not sure how much I believe the story that duty had been taken away from those two. I think David Moyes' stock, it was so low that I think almost anyone would believe that. Oh yeah, almost anything negative was believable about David Moyes. Do I believe it? I don't know. But something's changed. I mean, I think it's the reason I'm not jumping straight to believe it is I do think he's an easy target, David Moyes. I think there's a lot that you can criticise him for, a lot. But whether that's true, I don't know. Why would you do that? Why would you get a set piece? Why would you hire a set piece taker and then, well, not only then stop him from doing the set pieces, but then still retain him as a coach? I mean, that would be weird, right? So that's what the conspiracy. If you believe the conspiracy theory, you have to believe that. So that's why I'm not sure. That being said, it looks like something's changed. It really does look like something's changed there. There's no doubt about it, and it's quite. I can't quite fathom it totally, because when I was watching Bournemouth, there were times when Antonio was definitely stood on the keeper, but then he can't be stood on the keeper all the time, because in consecutive games he's headed the goal in from a corner. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe, to be fair, Bowen is still taking a large number of these corners, but maybe, just maybe, Cresswell coming back into the team has had something to do with it. But again, let's be fair, it's not like Emerson has been playing all season. Emerson has only really was only sort of flavour of the month for about 10 games. So Cresswell's been taking corners for most of the season. So it can't just be Cresswell, or has he suddenly remembered how to kick the ball again? I don't know, that's hard to think that might be the case. But we look a threat. And I hope the reputation's there, because I do think the reputation plays its part, because if West Ham hadn't scored any goals for a long time from set pieces, people aren't going to be scared of them. You want a little bit of fear. You want them to you want them to make extra provisions for you, really, because that's going to allow you to sort of mix things up a little bit, throw a little spanner in the works, mix up the tactics, and anyway, it all becomes part of it, doesn't it? Anyway, so I think I'm really, really pleased about the counter-attacking as well. The counter-attacking looks better now. Again, what do we read into that? There was this whole thought process at David Moyes. By David Moyes' own words, he was going to change the style that we played. And he said, sometimes you have to break it. You've got to break it before you can build it. That was obviously him talking about the team. Break the team. And I think very much the style of play. I think, obviously had some players who were getting on a little bit. And maybe that didn't work. But it's not just that didn't work. It was the fact I wasn't sure that the personnel were in place. So Scamacca was never going to be the guy for the counter-attacking. That's just not him. So I do wonder if Antonio being fit, as I say, he might have looked tired in the last game, but he is fit and he's showing pace. Maybe that's allowed us to play that way again. Maybe Bowen coming back into form. Bowen was not in form at the start of the season. Maybe it's something as simple as that. Maybe it's not overly tactics. Maybe we read too much into it. It's not David Moyes breaking it and fixing it and all that sort of thing. Benrahma seems to have gained Moyes' trust, and I said this a couple of videos ago, but he keeps choosing him. There's no doubt about it. Said Benrahma is in the Moisey Woisey first choice 11. He's in there. There's no distrust. There's none at all. I'm not saying he wouldn't. Did you hear it the other day when he was playing against Ghent and the commentator said Benrahma didn't track back and David Moyes has thrown a bottle of water onto the floor. So I think he can clearly still be frustrated by him. But I did also notice him against Ghent in very much encouraging him, saying, come on, side, come on, come on. I think his crossing was awful. Benrahma's crossing was awful against Ghent. He kept on crossing it. It's just going out of play. That being said, I didn't feel he had a go at him. He kept on encouraging him. I tell you what I did like, actually, thinking about it now, back to the Bournemouth game, and Benrahma started to do this. The fullbacks don't know which way he's going to go. He might cut inside. He might stop. He'll often just stop the ball dead, and then he'll recycle it. It'll go back to Cresswell. Then Cresswell pass it inside into Declan Rice, or it'll go into Paqueta. Or he might cut inside and go on a dribble and try and shape that shot, that Benrahma shot that he does with his right foot. Or now, doing it a lot more, he might go to the byline and try and cross with his left foot. And I think that's really, really good. He was always doing the same thing before, and I think that maybe that's helped us in the way we play. The fact that there's variety. There's variety in what he's clearly got ability. He's probably got. Well, him and Paqueta are the most skillful players in the squad. Probably. He's clearly got tons of ability. Now he's got unpredictability as well as the ability. So I think that maybe that's got to do with it. But maybe it's hard to then say that he wasn't part of that old West Ham. COVID West Ham. He wasn't really in the team, was he? I just has a different feel. Maybe it's just the fact that we're getting some results, but we're scoring some goals now as well. So we put 4 past Forest. I think we put 4 past Larnaca in the home leg. I think we put 4. Well, we definitely put 4 past Ghent because I just watched it the other day. That was at home. Then we just done it 4 again. All in sort of quite close proximity, close recent succession, haven't they been? So it feels that way. Maybe there's not one answer. Maybe it's a mix of everything. Maybe some of the players are starting to feel more integrated. It was interesting he picked a Gerd, wasn't it, for that game? Because obviously a Gerd wasn't part of the great performance that there was against Arsenal there. Maybe Paqueta clicking. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's helping us transition. Maybe people are reading his passes a bit more. But I don't know. It might just be a little bit. 5% here, 5% there. Just everything coming together, being the set plays and all the other stuff. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it is very, very good. And you know what? I'm pleased for the players. It was great to see all the players at the end of that game against Bournemouth all go to the away fans. They were singing. They did not stop singing, the away fans. Every song. I think if there was a song that all got sung, it was a lot of Declan Rice being sung. But it was great to see all the players go over to the fans. I don't imagine the players, they do want to go over to the fans, but there's been times this season when we've played pretty terribly and you almost felt like they're ashamed to go over there. And well, I'll tell you what, Wolves, they started to go over and they got booed. That was there at the Wolves game. It was in the away end, and that was a bad performance. So, I mean, I'm pleased for the players. Pleased, even more pleased for the away fans, to be honest. Not an easy one, that. Not an easy one away to Bournemouth. particularly how they've been playing. So, well done us. The fixtures look a little bit dicey, the games that are left. It ain't going to be easy, but because we've beaten the teams that probably you'd say we should have beaten, like Fulham, like Southampton, like Bournemouth, and then we've got a little surprise one against Arsenal, there's not the pressure on us to get loads of points. We're not expected to beat Man City. We're not expected to beat Liverpool. There's enough in there that, you know, you'd hope we can do something. And as I said in yesterday's video, that goal difference is now it's done, isn't it? They're looking really, really good. Overall, brilliant. Anyway, I haven't got time to breathe. We've got Liverpool coming up. Let's just hope he's wrapping everybody up in cotton wool. I'm sure he is. Anyway, we'll deal with that. You'll have to tune in to myself and Gio's Liverpool preview, which will be up later on today over on the main channel. Go and check it out.